Congratulations, man. Great performance, obviously. Did you feel at some point that you demoralized him and he was just kind of trying to get to the finish line?
Shakur moved so well. He won every round, and he was just a step ahead with quickness and just with, just the plan himself. Great plan coming in, and he did well. Congratulations to him.
He won all the rounds? Is that what you're saying? He won all 12 rounds?
Well, maybe he lost one, but he won the majority of rounds.
At what time did you realize that this was just going to be Shakur taking over the whole fight?
After the fourth round.
It was an amazing night. I put the work in. I stayed disciplined throughout my camp. I was in tremendous shape. And Tio, he's a hell of a fighter, but I was the better man tonight.
Made Teofimo look like a novice. I mean, that's how good he is. 120, 109, 108. I mean, just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Is that what you expected from Shakur? No?
I mean, listen, I expected an incredible performance, but I didn't expect it to be completely one-sided. I mean, he won every round, in my opinion.
Well, he tried to get going. He just wasn't allowed to. So it's just the distance and range that Shakur has just perfected throughout the years, and then making him pay when he does that discourages him to not want to punch anymore. And I think he was out of answers in the first round.
Shakur Stevenson recently secured a dominant victory against Teofimo, prompting a surprising reaction from Stephen A. Smith, which we will discuss later in this video. But before that, Eddie Hearn, while reacting to Shakur's commanding performance over Teofimo Lopez, remarked that it had everything. He said that Shakur showed superiority in every department, never allowing Teofimo to come at him at any stage of the fight. On the other hand, he also highlighted that Lopez was highly frustrated by Shakur's control and composure inside the ring. In Hearn's view, the way Shakur landed with such perfection was truly remarkable, and it played a great role in earning the biggest victory of his career so far.
Never out of control, footwork, timing, shot selection. I actually think he could have stopped Teofimo if he'd have stepped on him. Teofimo looked like frustrated, just obviously was busted up to the face. He's a phenomenal fighter, 4-division world champion.
Unlike Eddie Hearn, Andre Ward underlined some areas where Shakur could have improved and produced a better result than he delivered. However, he still offered plenty of words in Shakur's praise, applauding every step he took in the ring. Ward emphasized that Stevenson's mindset was the main reason that kept him ahead of his opponent throughout the matchup. He observed in his conclusion that Shakur has accomplished a great deal in a short amount of time, and that if he keeps up this pace, he can become one of the greatest of all time by honing his talents and abilities.
There's always room for improvement. I think he had a lot of stuff he could have did, but he's so talented and gifted, man. You also got to trust what he's seeing in there. We're on the outside, but I think he put on a tremendous performance, and obviously, the level he's at, you always look for things he could do better,
What did you see from the outside that he might?
I'm just saying, I think it was a lot of body work and stuff like that. He could have touched on, but again, he's in there, so he's seeing stuff, he's feeling the punches. We not. So you got to trust what he's seeing.
Andre Ward also showed interest in the fight if Conor Benn is to face Shakur next. Hailing Conor Benn as a tremendous fighter, he declared that going against Stevenson would be a great matchup for both the contenders, given the phase in both of their careers. However, he also clarified that Shakur would be more likely to win against Conor as well, because very few can match his level of skill set and his ring IQ.
Do you like that fight for Shakur?
Absolutely, yeah.
How do you think that one goes?
Conor's always dangerous. He's gonna come forward, but man, it's gonna look a lot like that. And there's no disrespect to Conor Benn. I respect what he does and how he does it, but the skill set, bro, is different. They say them boxers boring, man. Why they be saying that? They say the boxers boring, but the boxers they can deal with any style though.
Another important boxing personality, Lennox Lewis, stated that the outcome of the contest was very clearly visible after both fighters had completed 4 rounds. In his view, Teofimo lacked the adjustments he was expected to make before entering this clash. He further explained that Shakur delivered an incredible performance, one he will remember forever. Lennox concluded by expressing that Shakur's way of handling Teofimo's power demonstrated that he is a real special talent, and putting him down is not an easy task at all.
Shakur moved so well. He won every round, and he was just a step ahead with quickness and just with, just the plan himself. Great plan coming in, and he did well. congratulations to him.
He won all the rounds? Is that what you're saying? He won all 12 rounds?
Well, maybe he lost one, but he won the majority of rounds.
At what time did you realize that this was just going to be Shakur taking over the whole fight?
After the fourth round.
Furthermore, Paulie Malignaggi pointed out that it was Shakur's first step towards his journey of becoming an all-time great. Asserting that he has a very big toolbox, he said that Stevenson uses every move at the very right time, never throwing blind or raw punches. On the other hand, Teofimo Lopez was also appreciated by him for trying every possible move he could. According to Malignaggi, Teofimo's lack of knowledge about Shakur was the main reason he could not figure out his style that night.
Like I said, sometimes it's off the high guard, sometimes it's off the low right hand guard, sort of like a shoulder roll, you know. There were moments in the fight where he was actually walking tail down, especially late in the fight. He started walking tail down more and more and more, just bossing the fight. And Teo tried. Teo was turning southpaw at times. He was, you know, trying to use that athleticism by, you know, trying to make all these little jukes and jives and then try to punch off them. You know, a couple of times I saw he just missed with a couple of counter right hands and a couple of tries. And maybe if those would have been shots that landed clean, which is almost impossible to land on Shakur clean, but sometimes he just missed it. But that's how good Shakur is, but he keeps just making you miss and you'll never actually get him.
Furthermore, George Kambosos Jr. went onto social media to congratulate Shakur on such an amazing performance. Like many others, he also hailed both contenders for putting on a great show, yet he was especially admirable of Shakur for what he displayed against Teofimo, who was expected to give him tough times. He wrote that, "Too sharp, the speed with the counter-punching was beautiful. You could see it was all over after first three. Mental frustration. Shakur, you are a very good fighter." He also added, "Big respect to Teofimo as well, who is a proper warrior and always steps up. What a match it was." Adding another person to the list, Keyshawn Davis, who also secured a dominant victory against Jermaine Ortiz, showed great joy for Shakur's win. He revealed that as the fight progressed, he had an estimate that it would not be a close contest. He expressed that the way Teofimo showed up made him realize it was not going to be a very difficult task for Stevenson. He came to the conclusion in his post-fight analysis that Shakur's career can last as long as he wants because he displays completeness against every opponent he faces.
Shakur, dominant performance, only lost a round, which is pretty incredible.
He gave him that round, so he took that round up. I know Shakur, he took that round up.
Well, as a fighter, what were you watching as the fight was progressing?
Bro, the whole time, like, you know, I had to take taking a P test, you know what I'm saying? So the whole time in backstage, bro, I'm just going crazy. Like, oh, he's beating him up. It's easy work. Like, he's beating Teo up. Like, it's not even a close fight, you know what I'm saying? I was just happy for him. Super happy.
Moreover, Edgar Berlanga was also very happy after his prediction for this fight proved true. He claimed that he had been quite aware of the final result of the fight since the first day. He maintained that since Shakur never permitted Teofimo to impose his will in the ring, there was nothing Teofimo could have done differently. He additionally stated that as Shakur's abilities and self-assurance continue to improve, he would get harder to defeat with each second he spends in this sport.
Easy work. My brother Shakur spanked his ass 12 rounds like I told him he would. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of my brother, man. He did his thing, man. I already knew he was going to box his ass out. Like, he was going to box him out. Easy work. You know what I'm saying? Shakur's a special talent in the sport of boxing, man. And he's been like that since the amateur.
What could Teofimo done differently to secure a win? I mean, I know you have an announcement, but Shakur obviously took the fight.
Nothing. Easy work. It's easy work. Easy.
Further delving into this contest, Ryan Garcia also shared some encouraging words for Shakur. Keeping the skills and talent aside, he mentioned Teofimo's strategy as the main reason why he was beaten so badly. However, Stevenson's overall display of pure boxing was absolutely admired by him. He wrote that, "Not a good game plan from Teofimo Lopez. Great performance by Shakur." Devin Haney was also among those who shared their enthusiasm over Shakur's victory. He underlined that what determines a fighter is his performance in big pressure moments. And Shakur has displayed various times in his career that he is an absolute fighter in every situation he faces. He said, "Shakur is beating the hell out of Teofimo in first gear." Most importantly, Wally Mosses marked it as a very great win regarding what it would do to Shakur's career. He highlighted that this victory has made Stevenson a champion in 4 different divisions, which is a very significant milestone. However, speaking about the future, he stated that this win is going to have a tremendous effect on Shakur's legacy, and the way Shakur dominated was another thing that was very impressive to witness. According to him, Shakur is going to be a boxing great in his career because he is willing to encounter any kind of challenge and knows how to be effective against any style.
You know, I said this was another legacy fight for him, and he got a chance to, you know, establish his legacy once again, winning another
another title at 140 pounds. So I'm very enthusiastic about his future and very proud of his performance.
Then, further talking about his future and which fighter he should face in his next fight, he also announced Conor Benn as the best name he should consider. Emphasizing that he has called out himself, he said that beating him would add much spice to Shakur's journey and profile. However, he said that the final decision would be taken after a complete team meeting because they always look at various factors before taking any big fight, ensuring that every move is carefully calculated and strategically planned.
And being NA, Shakur said, hey, he can be next. We're not worried about that.
How does a fight would like that play out with Conor Benn? It would do it over in there in England?
Oh, I'd love to have the fight here. We the champ, man.
Oh,
He's talking all the mouth. Let him come here.
So you got to dictate that. And the rehydration clauses?
He says he's a bigger guy.
Yeah.
He thinks he's a tougher guy. Okay. It make all sense for him to come here, somebody hometown, and beat them. He's so tough.
Further continuing the list, in Richardson Hitchens' view, Teofimo looked completely out of ideas on what to do against Shakur. He noted that despite Teofimo's greatest efforts to change the situation, Stevenson always responded with bravery and power, preventing him from carrying out his plans and ideas. He figured that the opening round gave an indication of how the remainder of the fight would proceed, and that is precisely how it transpired, with Stevenson controlling the entire battle from beginning to end.
I told y'all, man, 9-3, man. But I think Teo lucky. How many rounds they gave him? Did they give him a round? Get bummed. Get Teo out of here.
What could Teo done differently in this fight?
Nothing. He couldn't do nothing. He's gonna do nothing. He tried everything.
What
his dad said? I told everybody. That's what his dad said, right? I told everybody. Fuck out of here, man. Fuck out of here.
At what round did you feel like it was gonna be just a takeover?
First round. I said it. First round. It's over with. It's gonna be like this all night, man. All night.
Richardson, what's gonna be next for Shakur Stevenson from now? What is gonna be next after this?
I don't know. Whatever he wanna do, man. Whatever he wanna do, man.
Moreover, Bruce Carrington identified the strategies used by both combatants as the decisive element. He indicated that Shakur, who is well known for his skill at employing game-winning strategies, did the same against Teofimo by seizing any chance that came his way. However, he thought Teofimo's style had many shortcomings. He went on to argue that Stevenson had an easy night because Teofimo made the precise mistakes he was not supposed to make throughout this bout.
Man, he made it easy. You know, I was saying, like, if Teo was to fight more on a back foot and throw punches when Shakur throws, that's the only time you're going to get Shakur. But Teo, he has a habit of getting out of position all the time. He'll double up his right hand, turn square, or turn southpaw. Like, that's not going to work, bro. You're not going to take up enough space to touch Shakur. Shakur's reflexes and his countering was just keeping Teo at bay. It was an easy night from round one for him.
Additionally, Clarissa Shields, who always named Shakur as the likely winner whenever she was asked to choose the winner of the Teofimo versus Shakur clash, was very happy after her words were proven true. She professed to have a thorough understanding of boxing and to be able to determine who had the best probability of winning a given bout. She did, however, suggest that Stevenson ought to have pursued a stoppage since he was capable of doing so. Overall, Clarissa was ecstatic about this victory and wished Shakur success in his next battles.
Shakur did great today. Only thing I can ask for is a stoppage. I can't ask for nothing else.
What did you think about, obviously, Teo's eye? He never seemed to be able to get into it at all. Is that kind of like the experience you had?
He won a round or two, maybe, but that's it. Shakur was dominant. He was able to hit him clean first round, able to avoid shots. Shakur is just on his A game. He's sharper, he's stronger, he's better, and now he's a 4-division world champion. I'm so proud of him.
Like others, Clarissa also supported Shakur's decision to share the ring with Conor Benn next. In her opinion, Shakur showing confidence in his abilities is very good, especially because Conor is significantly bigger than him. However, while dissecting this potential matchup, she pointed out that Conor's size would be largely considered an advantage against Shakur. At the same time, she announced that Stevenson can secure victory against anyone, suggesting that beating Conor would not be an impossible task for Shakur if he approaches the contest with the same skill, strategy, and composure he has shown before.
I think Shakur is a better fighter than Conor Benn too, but he has to know that Conor Benn is, one, a lot bigger, a lot stronger, and he's a wild fighter. He's going to come in, and when he sees the boxing not working, he's going to try to make it a brawl. But like I said, I think Shakur can beat anybody, but I don't think when they fight, what they fighting at 47?
Besides these assessments, Daniel Jacobs, who was supporting Teofimo in the fight, seemed a bit off at his favorite fighter. He underscored that the match amply demonstrated the disparity in the skill sets and general boxing ability of the two fighters. Teofimo should take his work extremely seriously, in his opinion, as losing important battles like this might be a big setback. Like others, though, he was also excellent at praising Shakur for winning, possibly in such an unexpectedly biased way that illustrated the degree of domination Stevenson demonstrated throughout the battle.
Amazing fight. Teofimo is my guy, but I've always been a fan of Shakur. And I think that Shakur put on a clinic tonight. Least amount of risk. Been able to put his skill set into fruition all night. The jab was leading. You can tell the difference in skill set, and that was the difference to me that made the fight. It wasn't about grit, it wasn't about heart, it was about sheer talent. And Shakur displayed that tonight. So.
Heading towards the end, Shakur Stevenson, while discussing his win, stated his preparations as the key to this victory. He explained it gives joy when every drop of sweat a fighter puts in training pays off on fight night. And for him, that was exactly the case against Teofimo. He noted that even though he was aware of his advantages over Teofimo, he gave his training his all to make sure he won at all costs via devotion, concentration, and unwavering preparation.
It was an amazing night. I put the work in. I stayed disciplined throughout my camp. I was in tremendous shape. And T.O., he's a hell of a fighter, but I was the better man tonight.
Then, further revealing why he looked so comfortable against Teofimo and why his plans worked right from the start, he asserted that his deep study of his opponent allowed him to do so. He clarified that in camp, along with sharpening his physical tools, he also spent hours analyzing Teofimo's weak points, which is why their plans were so successful in the ring, with everything working perfectly in his favor and allowing him to control the contest from start to finish with precision and confidence.
I studied them. I've been watching them for years. I seen T.O. when we was in the amateurs. Everything that I seen was there tonight. Like the things that I kind of saw on tape and on film, it was all in front of me tonight. And there is benefits from watching tape.
In short, the majority was in favor of Shakur to win, and it has actually happened. The boxing community has shown mixed reactions to this fight. Some highlight Shakur's effective skills and plans as the deciding factor, while others believe Teofimo did not appear in the shape one needs to be against Shakur. Shakur's fans are also very happy. As their excitement grows, they are curious to see who their favorite will choose to fight next, as they want him to take real challenges. For his future fights, they have also suggested some names Shakur can face to earn bigger rewards. On the other hand, Teofimo has again been reminded by boxing fans to make necessary adjustments if he wants a successful career. Now, in the end, what do you think of Shakur's victory? Which moment stood out to you as the best in the whole fight? Most importantly, which path do you suggest for both fighters? Who should they face next? Your opinions truly matter, and we want to hear from you. Share your post-match thoughts in the comments section below. If you haven't already, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as your support is greatly appreciated. Overall, thanks for watching, and stay tuned to this channel for all the latest boxing updates and analyses.